and then emphasize quantity and speed. And this was probably my favorite part of this list because he's got this anecdote that another author mentioned in the book, Art and Fear. It's about a ceramics teacher. And so he graded half the class on the quantity of pots that they created by weight. And he graded the other half of the class on the quality of a single pot. That was all that was required of them, whole class. By the end of the class, all of the highest quality pots came from the high quantity graded people because they kept making stuff, making mistakes, getting feedback, and making more, while everybody else sat and theorized. What is the perfect pot?
Yeah.
How can we make the best thing? And they never got good at it because it was all theory. It's academic understanding. Mm-hmm. Like, if you just learn music theory, it does not mean you can play an instrument.
Yeah.
Academic understanding helps. It can be very useful, but it is not the same thing.
I learned this
as acquiring
again,
a skill.
I learned this again very recently.
With what?
So Anna and I have started figure skating. For me, again, for her the first time. And the highest difficulty jump that I learned before, back in 2016, was what's called a waltz jump, which is literally it's half a rotation. It's 180 degrees. It's a forward takeoff, and then you land backwards.
Okay.
So I have never gotten to the point where I can do a full rotation jump. So I don't currently have a coach right now. I almost said couch. I do own a couch. But I don't have a coach. And I don't really have the time to get one right now, but I want to learn one full rotation jump. So I spent like a good couple of hours studying first the 6 different types of jumps that are done, and then I isolated the Salchow as the one that I wanted to learn, which is one where you take off on the edge of your skate instead of a toe pick, and it's a backwards jump. So I watched slow-mo videos of skaters doing it over and over again, and then I slowed down YouTube videos to 0.25x speed to watch Olympic skaters do it, and I watched like novice skaters do it, and then I went out in the living room and I practiced the motions, and I was like, okay, shoulder check here after a specific 3 turn on my foot, and I know exactly how to get it. And then I got onto the ice, and I couldn't even get myself into a proper takeoff position. Yeah. So all that time spent analyzing exactly how to do it, preparing my body for the exact motions, and I can't even come close to even taking off for the jump.
Yeah, well,
so it really is just repetition.
That quote that's like, in theory and practice are the same, but in practice they're not.
Yep.
And of course you can be good at something without understanding it, because explain to me all the most detailed parts of English, your first language. I bet you don't know how a lot of it works, just as I don't. There are very specific adjective rules where you put them in the right order. Mm-hmm. But we do it. You don't need to understand to still be able to do it.
I think the big thing here is that we overestimate the ability of our conscious brain, our conscious mind, to control our bodies.
Yeah.
We think that just because we can conceptualize a movement, that we can actually tell our body to do it. And I think in reality, a good 90% of your body's ability to do anything, especially things that are skilled, it comes from the unconscious mind and muscle memory, which is why you can picture some crazy, amazing art in your head, but you can't draw it.
Yeah, because if everybody could perfectly do that, then literally everyone would make the greatest music and the greatest art all the time, because there would be no barrier.
Yeah, I can come up with amazing sounding music in my head, but when I actually open the composing software,
you should hear this. It's the best song
I know, right?
you've ever heard.
It's so good.
Swear to God.
And then you open your composing software and you can't even write one instrument's worth of the composition that you thought of.
Yeah.
Because your mind's eye can't zoom in on, one little detail because you haven't built the skill yet. You haven't built the conceptual skill, and you haven't built the ability to actually execute it with your muscles in any way.
Yeah.
So that's why it takes all this repetition. And I love the pot story.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting that everybody that was trying so hard to make it good couldn't do it compared to the people that were just doing a bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.